Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Apologies for being a little late. Keep you waiting. And thank you for inviting us here today. Beautiful temple. This is our second visit here to the temple, but our first chance to serve all of you wonderful Vaishnavas of this nice temple. We'll begin with the subject directly. So, probably you are already aware that we'll be discussing something which is of very deep and direct relevance to our life straight away. Family life and how to integrate that with Krishna consciousness. When you observe things around, you can see that family life in itself is a difficult task. Not just for devotees, but anybody in this world. Just to handle a family in itself is very difficult. Prabhupada used to say, I think I read it somewhere in Bhagavatam, that to run a family is like running an empire. Right? So making it, such a difficult task to run just a family, just to survive, to maintain, to run, to be responsible. And then you have Krishna consciousness along with that. That is like another huge responsibility which we all think of as practicing devotees, right? And now we're talking about integrating these two difficult things together. Does that make it more difficult? The answer is no. It doesn't make it more difficult. It makes it much easier, right? The reason I say this is because you will experience this eventually. Some of you will experience that. Krishna consciousness teachings of our beloved spiritual masters helps us to practice family life with a deeper sense of meaning, right? Makes us better grihasthas, and when we become better grihasthas, then our Krishna consciousness also gets supported and enhanced. So we call it in scientific language as a positive feedback loop, right? And there is a deep sense of interdependency between Krishna consciousness and family life. And why does it make it easier? Because Krishna wanted it like that. He didn't want us to have just separate family lives. He always wanted us to combine the beauty and the responsibility of family life along with the sweetness added by Krishna conscious lifestyle. Right? So we're going to see in the next whatever time we have together today, how to make this really happen, and see that by making this happen, what we're really looking at, the goal setting is we will get a boost in our family life and an upliftment also of our Krishna consciousness. That's what we are trying to look at, right? So, what is family life all about? If I what is this golden triangle of 3 C's? Of course, this bond is fast deteriorating, the family bond. In fact, in America, you are already seeing that the family unit, the family institute itself is under great threat because there are hardly people who are really in becoming family members. We were told that the divorce rate was very high in America, right? That it is like 70% in the first 3 years of marriage. And somebody is saying, no, 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 it's not true. It's 70% in the first year of marriage. And now they say, no, no, it's coming down. It's coming down now. The reason it's coming down because people are not getting married. Because they're now just living together, living relationships. So when there's no living relationship, there is no official data in the in the courtroom or in the registry of marriages that these two people are married. There's no, the relation doesn't exist as far as government is concerned, but they're living together. So when the divorce takes place or separation, it's also unregistered. So the trend is very bad, my dear friends. China, you'll be surprised, the biggest country in the world, most popular country in the world, has 10,000 divorces per day. This is statistics from 2016. I'm out of touch for the last 2 years about what's happening there, right? Per day. And this is from paper I read from China, right? So in general, what we're looking at is the trends are extremely bad. So these 3 C's are here to remind us what actually is the foundation which would make this sacred bond of family life sustainable. We want a sustainable economy, right? It was sustainable so many things, sustainable lifestyle, sustainable village, sustainable farming. Sustainable is like the key buzzword for everything, sustainable lifestyles. But what about sustainable relationships? We scarcely talk about that, right? So these 3 C's will tell us what are the 3 pillars which would make any family life stable. C for, well, before I say that, look at an analogy. I like to see family life like a big building, right? A building has 3 parts. A foundation, which is very important, obviously important. And then you have a superstructure, which is made up of cement, pillars, beams, plaster, cement, etc., right? Which is the actual, what they call koka, or the outside structure, right? And then you have the interiors, which is the furnishings, the chandeliers, carpets, the air conditioners, and all the beautifying things which you put inside, right? Foundation, superstructure, and interiors. So if you have a huge building, right, which can stand storm and things like that, all the emotional storms, challenges of life, this building of family life is also sustained on 3 parts. The first C is C for character. That is the foundation of married life. You will definitely agree with this, right? And the more the character is getting eroded, people are more losing this. The only that kavach which is there, kavach means shield, that it protects you, right? So having lost, the social life is so promiscuous and permissive, and you have hardly any moral values remaining to protect you. Ultimately, what is morality? Morality is like a kavacha. Morality is a kavacha, right? It's a kavach which protects your human values. When you lose that kavacha, you drop down to what Prabhupada called as animal life, right? Animal life. So that's the first C. The second C is C for commitment. Commitment to the bond of marriage. You want to keep it going for the rest of your life till death. The third C is for care. The soft part of it, the interiors, which really are, which beautify the house. The C for care, your love and care, right? And so, what we've been doing is, in order to bring about this sort of awareness, or you can call it reawakening or refocusing, whatever name you call it, we've been traveling different parts of whatever we can do of our services, and we made a list of something like 15 modules. This is a little older slide. In our talks, we cover these various subjects which are mentioned over here. And this being our more our first talk over here at this temple, we are covering the first few topics which are mentioned in the slide. Elsewhere, other places, we are doing the topic on we did communication. Yesterday, we talked about communication, and Prabhu was there also. So let's talk about the cultural drift aspect. Cultural drift is an important phenomenon to understand how, beginning from the Industrial Revolution, especially Kaliuga, yes, 5,000 years ago, and then Industrial Revolution, as more and more science took over people's lives, religion and morality started fading into the background, right? And that happened more and more and more, right? People became more and more mechanistic, and as they say, instead of loving people, the result of that is one line. The result of all this industrial is one line conclusion. We began to love things and use people rather than loving people and using things. Do you agree? Right? So that is the net result of all our mechanization, gadgetry, industrialization, digitalization, whatever, all these names, right? But we began to really lose track of the fact that human happiness does not come from dead matter or inanimate matter in the form of things, but it only comes from a vibrant relationship with people, right? And God designed that you become happy in this world by giving you the family structure. So when you and I left Krishna's abode, Krishna designed that you would go back into this world again into a family, because you belong originally to Krishna's family, right? That you are left from. Time, antiquity, we don't know when, right? Anadi karma phale puri prabhava jale, Thakur says, right? So we have come into this world having lost Krishna's shelter. So he gives us shelter again by giving you the benefit of a family. A bee as a family, a dog as a family, lions a family, tigers family, elephants go around together in herds, they have a family, and you and I as human also have family. So family was designed for preservation of species, protection, and for human beings it is for promotion of higher consciousness, right? So in order to enhance consciousness in Vedic culture, we find that India is still a model of Vedic culture. If you look at India real closely, you find that how Vedic culture was maintained, how Krishna designed Vedic culture to be present in this holy land of India. And look at India properly, you will see that you have not just God-centered families, but thousands of families centered around God. If you look at a place called Jagannath Puri, all of you have been to Jagannath Puri, right? Jagannath Puri is what? Thousands of families for generations upon generations upon generations for millions of years centered around one person, only three people, not one. Jagannath Puri Shukramai, right? You go to Pandharpur, the Pandharnath is standing for 5,000 years, and Pandharnath is catering to the lives of thousands of people in Pandharpur. One holy town, and thousands of people around that place, right? Tirupati Balaji, Dakor, Rameshwaram, Srirangam. So all these holy places are there, showing the beauty of the Lord's arrangement, how the Lord wanted us to live normal lives, like families, children, grandchildren, etc., in-laws, everything fine. But the focus would be, right? So Prabhupada also got the same model. Prabhupada understood, being a seer of truth, right? That this is the way to go. And therefore, wherever he went in this world, he also made beautiful temples. And in ISKCON, first part of ISKCON, it was more people who were in the temple, and they centered around their lives around Krishna by living in the temple. And then as ISKCON grew and matured further, the temple still remained, but there were devotees staying around, and there were community formations, right? And people still connected to the temple, but living their own lives outside the temple, right? So for example, the place where we belong, we come from a place in Mumbai called as Mira Road. Now, you'll be surprised that Mira Road is one temple, Vishaka Priya Devi temple, Jagannath Gauritai, right? But there are anything like 600 families. 600 families living in the vicinity of just 5 kilometers. That's 2 miles, right? So many people just clustered around. So you walk down the road, any road, from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. You'll find somebody in the next 5 minutes holding a bead bag. In 5 minutes, you can be sure that there will be somebody just going down the road chanting Hare Krishna. It's a holy place for us. Right? So then in this way, whether it is Kolhapur or Nasik, in Pune, you go to Pune temple, the New temple, again same thing, right? I'm sure in Tobacco also, in New Jersey, same thing. You have, no? Okay. If Prabhupada wanted it like that, it will happen, right? So you have temple in the center and people coming around, at least they come around on Sundays, right? So basically, temple-centric life. In short, what I mean to say is temple-centric life where we would come here to uplift our consciousness, huh? To learn the culture of being a Vaishnava, right? And our movement, this beautiful movement of Prabhupada's family, and any religious movement for that matter, also has two aspects. Any religious movement, we call it cult or sampradaya, whatever name is given, has two aspects, right? One is the philosophy of what they stand for, what they're promoting, what is their message, what is their siddhanta. And second, and also equally important, is the culture. You agree? Any movement should have these two parts, the philosophy and the culture. Now a question, my dear friends. You know what I'm talking about. ISKCON has a philosophy, right? Prabhupada said books are the basis. We have a philosophy. Not few. There are so many books which you and I cannot even read. Correct? I'm sure all of you have books in your house, DBT books, or the new books coming, but we are even still getting time to read them. But we know that everything we do in our movement is based on books. But we also have a culture. We have Vaishnava culture, right? The fact that you and I are dhoti and kurta, this is not our normal dress, right? It's part of our cultural attire, and there is so many things more to our culture as well. The country, the tilak, Devi speed, and various things we have in our culture. Now, question is, according to you, what is more effective tool for preaching Krishna consciousness to spread this movement? Culture. The culture or the philosophy? Don't say both. Because it was both, I would not ask you. I'm trying to just make you weigh in your mind on a scale. Here is the books, like 6 Goswami's literature, the Samhita, the Sandarbhas, the 18,000 books of Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita, etc., etc., all the books. And then you have the culture of Vaishnavism, which you find being practiced more or so in Gaur Leela. Gaur Leela is the exhibit, a showcase of what all that is in the Bhagavatam. If the Bhagavatam ends, CC starts. Is it not? When Gita ends, Bhagavad starts. If Bhagavad ends, and CC starts. Right? So the CC is like this is what life is supposed to be. Mahaprabhu, the Yuga taught us. So now if you weigh these two things, what will be more effective for preaching? Culture. I think you got the point, right? You got the point I'm trying to make, right? The culture is far more important. If it was not culture, the philosophy would remain, in Prabhupada's words, an armchair philosophy. We sit on a chair with two arms, having a cigarette in my hand and discussing, what do you think about Mayabad? Yeah, then it would become a scholastic, academic, Indological, sociological, type of pursuit for your postdoc or for your PhD. That's all, right? And no meaning to your life. But we know that philosophy is exhibited by the practice of. So you and I, all sitting in this room, right? We are the living examples of the philosophy. We're supposed to live the philosophy. When you live the philosophy, it becomes into a cultural presentation. Prabhupada said, ISKCON will conquer the world because of cultural conquest. I'm sure you all know Prabhupada's words. So he expected all of us here to live a lifestyle where our cultural presentation of the world will conquer people and attract them to Krishna consciousness. Or to Vishaka Priya.
This culture which we have been talking about, it has been the culture of the spiritual world. Right? In the spiritual world, there are beautiful families, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, Rishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida and so many Brijvasis, and they all live a Krishna-centered life because Krishna is the center of their life. It's not a term for them. It's a practical way of life that they live. So the same culture, and they were happy. So the same culture, Prabhupada revived it in this material world. Whether it was east or west, he brought it down over here to show that if you follow that same culture, which was there up there, which we were all part of sometime, then we will also be happy that the Brijvasis are over there, right? So he revived it in our ISKCON temples, wherever he established, and that is what attracted us. You don't get attracted to if it's the same thing. If the same thing is in your house and same thing in the temple, then you don't feel like doing something. But unless something is new, you feel attracted to it. So when we all came to the ISKCON temples, we thought we saw something new. What did we see? We saw beautiful deities of Radha Krishna, which we didn't have in our homes. We saw beautiful relationships among devotees. We saw there was a culture of respect. We saw there was a culture of love. There was a culture of humility, care, all these things which we saw, which we don't see in the outside world normally. And that's what attracted us. If it was the same, then you don't get attracted to every place. Something about the ISKCON temple culture attracted us, am I right? If we just go by, it might be different things for different people, but it attracted us to come to ISKCON temple because Prabhupada revived that culture from the spiritual world. And what was his desire? That the same culture we bring it home, right? That's why they say that. And many people say, when I come to temple, I feel it's like my home. Don't you say? When I come to temple, I feel it's so homely over here. And what did Srila Prabhupada want? He wanted the temple to feel like home and the home to feel like a temple. That we should feel the temple is our home. I mean, the home, the temple culture has come over there. Now the question is, has that happened? I like to share this example of the telephone. And in our home, few years back, we had landline. Now nobody uses landline. So the phone used to ring, and people were complaining that why aren't you picking up the phone? I said it is not ringing. Then how do we pick it up? So then we had to do some investigation because a lot of devotees were complaining. And then we found out that when people would call, it would ring in the telephone exchange, but then some line was disconnected and it wouldn't ring at our home. So the same way, this culture has come till the temple. Prabhupada brought it all the way from the spiritual world till the temple in our locality. But somewhere the line is cut between the temple and our home. Right? Right? We come to temple and we are also humble. Hare Krishna. Please accept my obeisances. Any service, Prabhu. Anything I can do for you, Mataji. Please let me know anytime I am available. And at home. I didn't say anything and people are feeling like that. What happened at home? Right? We are different people. And our children and our family members get confused that my dad is something else in the temple. My mom is something else in the temple. And when they come home, that they are what? As it is. Because at home we are off guard. We don't have to present ourselves as something else. Right? Because that is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, when you come into Kali Yuga, you get two free apps. Which are the two free apps?
Hypocrisy and quarrel.
Quarrel and
Hypocrisy.
hypocrisy. Don't need to explain it, right? Quarrel at the drop of a hat, we can quarrel. You don't need seminars on. Okay, this Sunday there's been a seminar on effective quarreling. How many people would come to attend? So I'm expert at it. In fact, I can give the seminar. So you don't need seminars on that. It is inbuilt in us, The smallest reason you can fight. Many times most of the fights are what? Causeless. You can even have causeless fights, Just because, just because you might be hungry or you might be tired. Those could also be reasons for fights. And the other part, which is more important, is hypocrisy. Which is unfortunately, by just being born in this age of Kali Yuga, we get infected by it, right? If you go to a plague-infected area, even if you don't want, you might get infected. So, yellow fever you get, and you take shots when you go to certain areas, that you don't get infected. But because we are born in Kali Yuga, we get this, tendency of being hypocritical, to be something else in the temple, to present a different image in front of devotees, and to be something else at home. And that is why we every time try to remind ourselves and try to repeat to others. If people tell you that you are a wonderful devotee, Mataji, Prabhu, oh, you are the best devotee, don't believe them until the certificate is given by your own partner at home. Am I right? If they say in private, not in public, to impress people, that you are a wonderful devotee, Prabhu, or I am so fortunate to have got you as a wife. If you, in your private moments, you are able to share that with each other, then at least believe that you have begun the process of becoming a devotee. But don't, because if people around you say it, they are saying because they are seeing what? They are seeing our those teeth. Elephants have two teeth, the outside teeth and the inside teeth. The outside teeth are the tusks, and the inside are the functional teeth. Which is more attractive and costly? Those tusks they sell for millions of rupees. They are so costly. Even a small piece of jewelry of real ivory, if you buy, it's really costly. How much do those other teeth cost? If elephants die, nobody even bothers to remove those teeth. Right? They will immediately remove the tusk. But they are not seen. But actually, they are the ones which are functional. So when we are talking about family life, we all have become devotees. We are doing sadhana. Everybody is doing sadhana here. Sadhana means chanting, reading, associating. We are doing all of that. And the sadhana gives us what? Strength. We need strength in our Krishna consciousness. It gives strength. But what does family life give you? Stability. These two terms are very important to understand. One is strength and stability. You need both, right? If I have a solid, original teak wood table, which has four legs, which has these three legs, like the stool is there, it has three legs, right? So it's a solid teak wood table, but if one of the legs is broken, it has strength, but does it have stability? Will it stand? It won't, because it's not stable. Similarly, we are trying to achieve the lofty goal of Krishna consciousness in our life. But we want that strength and we need stability. But if my family life is not stable at home, I will not be able to build my tower of faith or love of God on it. It just can't. Am I right? So that's what we are trying to understand, that how can I stabilize my family life? Because when we say, our Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj said that when we say 70% of marriages end in divorce, where does it say that the rest of the 30% are happily married? Does it say that? Doesn't. How many times you must have heard this term that ये तो बच्चों के कारण we are together, otherwise because of children I'm just sticking around you, otherwise who will stay with a person like you? Either you voice it or you might have thought in your mind at least sometime. Many times we end up doing that. So where is the happiness? When we are saying Krishna consciousness is Susukham Kartum Avyayam, it is Ananda Manovyasat and Kevala Ananda Kand. Where is the Ananda? Many times we just, we smile, but you can see through the smile that some people are just not happy. You might have had a fight at home and cried at home and you come to temple, but here you have to say, put up a picture that I'm happy. But why can't we actually be happy? If we have the tools of Krishna consciousness with us, why can't we apply that philosophy which we have? The weapons, we have this with us, which the outside world doesn't have. Do they have? They don't have. So they can remain miserable. But if we as devotees remain miserable, then it's not good. It's not justified. But the latest concept in ISKCON is like this: a happy devotee, but a miserable Grihastha. There's a difference, right? Happy devotee, but a miserable Grihastha, and nobody will know that. Suddenly somebody is divorced. They divorced. I thought they shared a really good relationship. Because who knows what's happening in the four walls at home. More so in the US, because you all stay so far from each other. For us, sometimes we stay in the same building, so many devotees are there. Somewhere some sound vibration will come out and people will come to know. But here you are staying in the middle of some wilderness, nobody will know. Now in India, when we do kirtan at home, people hear beautiful Mangalarti and all. After the morning program is over, then some other sort of kirtan starts coming out of the house. Some different sorts of noises come. Children also get so confused. Everybody wants that my children should become good devotees. Wherever you will see, people take life decisions based on what will be good for the children, right? I'm thinking of shifting to India because this culture is not good, I want my child to get the best culture. What you say? Oh, there's this fun school going on, Gopal's fun school going on in the temple. I want my kid to be there. I want him to learn some shlokas. I want him to have good culture. But we want to outsource the responsibility of giving the culture to our children to outsiders. Why can't we own that responsibility ourselves also? Am I right? That we also play a role in imparting that culture to them. It's not that only, oh, I put him in the temple, now they'll take care of him, But most of the time he's going to be at home, the kid, and he gets so confused. Morning, my parents are doing aarti in front of the deities, evening they are fighting. So then what he will think? Maybe this is supposed to be done like this only. So when he grows up, he will say, I should also do Mangal Aarti, everything, and I have to fight because that's the system. You think like that? Yeah, that's the way, the story of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He used to say that in a marriage ceremony, one priest was performing a marriage, elderly priest, and during the ceremony, one cat ran across. So, while chanting mantras, he just took a basket and put it over the cat so it doesn't run here and there. Small kitten. And then he went about it. And his son was observing that marriage to learn. So once that father died, when he would perform marriages, he would get a basket and a cat, and he would make the cat run into the basket. Because it's part of the ceremony, that we are supposed to do that, right? So that's what our children are getting confused. So if we really care for our children and really want to impart the good culture to them, then who has to do the change and who has to own the responsibility? We. If my health is not okay, who has to exercise? My partner. If he or she walks on the treadmill, if he walks, is my health going to improve? But we always put, if things are going well, we say it's because of me, you see. Everything is going well because of me. And if there is any problem, only if he would change. Or only if she was little different, then it would have been better. It's always like that. When Grihastha seminars are announced, people will say, oh, there is a Grihastha seminar in the temple. Tell my partner, come, let's go. In my mind, I'm thinking, if he hears something, he will change. I don't know the attitude that is there any take-home message for me? We always, the husband is thinking, chalo, कुछ तो उतरेगा दिमाग में. You think like that and you take. But we never ever want to take the responsibility that whether are we also part of the problem. As we say, ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है. 2 hands are required. So even though the proportion might be different, maybe there is more fault on the husband's side or more fault, but there is something which I am adding to also to the problem. So can I make that change to bring about that stability in my family life so that I can actually be happy in Krishna consciousness and not, make the efforts of Srila Prabhupada to bring that culture of the spiritual world even at home. It could be a very beautiful environment if we could, possibly be able to do that.
So, what it essentially means is that unless we bring this culture to our homes, we can never experience the true joy of Krishna consciousness. We'll always remain very superficial in our approach to bhakti, because Krishna will not give you the reward of bhakti or prema bhakti unless we holistically adopt Krishna consciousness in every aspect of our life. If you give it only temple-centric Krishna consciousness, it is like Christians only go to temple for the mass on Sunday and doing sin on Monday onwards. Right? So if you have a compartmentalized lifestyle where Krishna consciousness is bhakti and festivals and deity worship and Rajbhog Aarti and this and that, everything is we're just doing that because like a weekly ritual or weekly seva you perform. But at home, what we're talking about right now today, if that is not brought into the home environment, we will not experience the true joy of For Krishna, when he say Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam, he say, where is that Anandam? I am so miserable in my heart. When I go to temple, I feel great. So that unless we make the sacrifice, we perform the tremendous austerity of putting the principles of Krishna Bhakti live in our home front, Krishna will never bless us with Prema Bhakti. When I say home front means into our ashram life, whether it's sannyas ashram or whatever ashram it is, right? And it's put into your ashram, right? That means joy will not come only if you are a grihastha, unless we make our homes into a grihastha ashram, right? So that's what we come to the next topic. That we are expected by the Shastra, or the holy books which Prabhupada gave us, to not just lead householder life. That puts in the category of Grihamedis. Because so essentially there are two types of, this is not new words to us, we know these two words, two types of lifestyles in family life. Either if it is self-centered, ego-centered, sense gratification centered, it is called as Grihamedi lifestyle, right? And when it is we-centered, Krishna-centered, sacrifice and love-centered, right? Then that is called as ashram. The word ashram is so important to understand. So just by getting married, devotees don't enter Grihastha ashram. It is not mechanical, it is not a button. That because two devotees are marrying, even if marrying in the temple, that their married life is now going to be like what is called as I'm entered Grihastha ashram. Well, you have the facility, you have the advantage, you have the blessings to do that, but unless you really carry the principle of Krishna consciousness into your family life, it never becomes a Grihastha ashram. If you have a million deities in your house, on your altar. Right? So deities don't make Grihastha ashrams, the pictures don't make Grihastha ashram. It is our attitude, our bhavna, our swabhav, what we give out. Then it becomes Krishna Arpanam Astu. Till we do not put this, we do not make the sacred bond of uniting together in love and offering that bond together at the feet of Krishna, then it becomes ashram, right? So, in fact, Prabhupada says, read the third canto, Prabhupada writes that even if there are no deities in the house, so when we start a new house, a new flats are there, we don't have an altar, we just maybe have pictures are there, or sometimes you know that picture, you have to make the picture ready to come, because it's a new house entered into, right? Prabhupada says that if husband and wife live together, united in their love for each other, centered in Krishna consciousness, then Lakshmi and Narayan will manifest in their house in a prakat form. They will be there to bless the couple with, samruddhi, shanti, dhan, dhanya, everything. Lakshmi and Narayan are source of all material and spiritual opulences, right? They will come into the house automatically, but when he sees that this is there, and if that is not there, then if you have Jagannath Swami in the house, in the altar, his eyes will become bigger and bigger and bigger when he sees us fighting. And Gaur and I are not saying it, they say hi, hi. And they're not dancing in love of God, they say hi, my devotees, why they're like this. Right? So, and Krishna will not play the fifth note, some very sad note, on his flute. So the point is that we need to recognize that the ashram, in fact, that's why the word in Sanskrit we use the word vivaha, right? मेरा विवाह हो रहा है, आप आइए, हमारे विवाह हो रहा है. Vivaha is a word which we all understand in Hindi, right? So what does vivaha mean? Vivaha comes from a Sanskrit word Vishesha Vahana, right? V means Vishesha, V means Vishesha, and Vaha comes from the word Vahan. Vahan is, of course, what is Vahan? Vahan means a vehicle, right? So, Vivaha is, when it is done with proper attitude, it offers that couple a special vehicle in which they can sit together as loving partners, because that vehicle is designed to take them to the kingdom of God. Right? That it is designed vehicle which is going to take you to the kingdom of God, provided the people who are sitting there inside live as the principles of Krishna consciousness, right? So what are the goals? How can we? What are the goals of Krishna of this Grihastha ashram? Right? How do? Why do we need to make it like that? Hmm? So there are various goals are there. One thing is that it keeps husband and wife encouraged, because there will be time, as we all understand, that the bhakti of the husband is going down for some reason. Sometimes the wife is down, husband is up. So we see that like a seesaw thing, right? Sometimes both are doing great, but sometimes not, he's down, she's down. So you need to be encouraged, right? So then both as loving partners are here to detect, yes, for some reason my partner is feeling low, and what can I do to help to boost up his health, his mindset, his utsaha in life, whatever it is, not just Krishna Bhakti, but he's down for some reason for anything, how can I really make him stronger emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? And the goal of this life, this ashram is very clearly defined. Yat karoshi, yadasnasi, yat josi, rasiya. Yat tapasasi konteya, tat kurushva, madarpana. Right? That means that we are looking forward to live such a lifestyle which in the end will please Sri Krishna. So I have to ask myself this very crucial question, my dear friends, that is the type of atmosphere of the relationship which I'm creating in my family life, is it to the extent which would please the Lord? Am I offering the best thing I can in the relationship to Krishna? If it is not, then let me upgrade, right? So essentially the third thing is the goal is to establish a sense of peace, right? If you remember your marriage, and if you still married the Hindu style, right? Indian Vedic style or Hindu style, right? Then they would always, after what mantras they chanted, which you and I never understood what they chanted. But one thing we really understood after that, at least the word freedom, I said, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There's a river buried in your mind? Yadarak? 10 years back, these words were there, right? And there is what is Shanti Home, right? The various homes are there. Shanti Home. Shanti Home means, what means a home? Peace, full of Shanti, right? Right? So, this was chanted so many times, right? And that's only what we understood. So, it is what it was supposed to be. That Bhagavan Shanti Home would give us that particular blessing from the demigods or whatever the concept that peace, that particular personality, so that our family life would become what? Peaceful. Examine yourself and feel the truth. If you're not peaceful in your mind and heart, can you practice Krishna consciousness?
It's difficult.
Hmm?
It's difficult.
It's difficult even when it is peaceful. Right? And if there is no peace in the house, it means they say either it is peace or it is pieces. Right? If there is to be peace, it will be even the heaven will be falling apart to shreds and fragments of pieces, right? But unless we establish peace, so Prabhupada writes in several letters which I read that the purpose of Grihastha life actually is to settle down in peace for the mind of the boy and the girl. Because you will have noticed that if you don't get married, right, the mind is all like agitated and disturbed, and but the moment you settle down, she's my wife, he's my husband, okay, and that part is done with, khatam ho gaya, right? But till now, otherwise you're like always. So being peaceful is important. So we want to establish in our house first what?
Peace.
A sense of peace. Right? That means there has to be maybe other seminars where you have conflict resolution, living with differences, communication skills. We'll have to learn so many things. Let's not forget the fact that we entered this ashram without any training whatsoever. Right? Just imagine, you all of you are driving cars in America. You just buy a nice car and start driving. Right? You went through a training. As a doctor, I have obviously had 8 years of training from UG, PG, etc. Right? 8 years of training before I could touch my first private patient. Right? Because I was not allowed to do that. I was under a hospital. Right? So 8 years of training for just practicing medicine. Right? You want to learn music, the tabla or dance, you have to have training. And so for small activities, you want to learn computers, you have to have computer training. But imagine the paradox and the sheer ridicule of the whole situation, that we entered into this situation where we were supposed to live with a person for 50 long years, half a century, without any training. Huh? So is it any wonder that we don't make it well? Right? They say that well begun is half done. Right? So not well begun is doubly undone. Correct? So we have entered into this situation where we are facing the rigors and challenges of Grihastha ashram primarily because we know about training. And Prabhupada has stressed this. When I read Prabhupada's letters on this subject, I see Prabhupada in conversations to his various disciples, his daughters and sons, right? Please train. Please train. You now that his new boy has joined in from a temple, he wants to get married. Pala devotee, you and both of you, please train this boy in the principle of Grihastha life. So he wanted everyone to be trained before they enter. So now we are already entered. We already quite burnt sometimes, right? But it is, as I say, never
Too late.
and here, therefore, the seminar today. So, another goal of Krishna consciousness ashram life is to generate and procreate in this world God conscious, Krishna conscious children. Right? Prabhupada said the world needs them very badly because what we have most in this world are, unfortunately, in the category of Varna Sankaras. Right? But by nourishing, by living a sacred life of Krishna conscious father and mother, you will be empowered with those souls from higher realms of consciousness, which will all come into this planet Earth with the background of Krishna Bhakti. And the more that its population increases, the more the world becomes livable, sane, civilized, and Krishna conscious. Right? Of course, that would set example to the world. Right? Prabhupada said, and of course, most of our spiritual masters, when they go to marriage ceremony lecture for their disciples, they will say this, right? That the world doesn't need more computers or better roads or better systems of management or better political parties. The world needs ultimately what today? Good examples. Good examples. Good example of a mother, good example of a father, good example of a good doctor, good example of a businessman. Good examples in every field of human activity are required. Right? So that will preach Krishna effectively. So we have to remember this very important thing that good lectures are not necessarily effective in changing people's hearts. They say, yeah, what a speaker he is. Oh my God, how he speaks. Brilliant. That is called as a motivational speaker. That's all that he is. And he's doing it for earning his bread and butter. Right? But we, when we devotees are here, we don't just give good lectures. Right? We can only be effective in transforming hearts of people if our hearts are purified in Krishna consciousness. Right? And that, even if you don't give a lecture, you can be effective because even a family person, if he is happy in Krishna consciousness, he is an effective preacher. You agree with that?
Yes.
Right? And we all believe in ISKCON now, after so many years, that the most effective preacher in ISKCON is a truly happy devotee. Right? When a happy devotee speaks, he exudes Krishna consciousness from his eyes, from his mouth, from his gestures, from everything he does, because he's actually the bliss, the ananda of Krishna consciousness. And therefore, even a simple mother having Krishna consciousness is sometimes more effective than a sannyasi. Right? Because she's truly offering Krishna prema love to her children. Right? And therefore, one of the goals is said it pleases the spiritual master. Please remember, when you and I get married, who's most tense? Our parents. Because the girl's side is thinking, I hope my daughter is happy. The father's side is thinking, I hope my son is happy, right? And if we fight in marriage, who gets most disturbed? Our parents. Oh, sometimes we don't send their girls to America after marriage because if they chale jayegi, pata nahi kya hoga uda, right? And suppose something happens to her, who will take care of her, right? That's our biological parents, and their anxiety is justified. But imagine our spiritual parents, our spiritual masters, when they see us unhappy and fighting and quarreling in Grihastha life, it breaks the heart of our spiritual masters so bad, right? It just breaks the hearts. We sometimes forget that factor, right? It's supposed you to have just a thought process that if the guru had a central camera in his house and he would look at a CC camera in the house of every disciple, right? One in the house of Dwarkadhish Das, one in the this Dasi and this Das. They're all my disciples. I have over 500 disciples all over the world, and I have a CC camera in my house just to monitor whether they're doing well. What would happen to the guru?
He will do bhajan. Another sannyas, like bhajan routine.
He will give his guruship. I said, I don't want to be guru of such people. Right? But we're supposed to live a life like that. That's what the whole point is, that whether the CC camera is there or not, when we connect our lives within the presence of the four walls of our nice flat, mansion, row house, etc., right? We are supposed to be conscious that is what I am doing in my house, right? Something which will please my Gurudev, right? So these are introspective questions which we need to ask so that we can really, feel sometimes a little bit ashamed of ourselves. So therefore, when the disciples do well, right, the Guru is so pleased. So our goal is Yasa Prasada Bhagavad Prasada, to please our spiritual master. So when he sees that Abram are doing very well, the Guru is very pleased, right? And therefore, of course, another goal is to make us really happy in this Dukhalaya Masashvatam world, because the world outside is full of Dukhalaya. Is it not true? Right? You all experience that? But the outside world is full of missiles and ICBMs flying into the sky, and everyone's like tormented by all that stuff, right? And the same thing is happening in the house also, right? And so like Vishaka quotes this many times, right? Our chairman of the guest vision team says that, yes, it is true that the world is full of Dukhalaya Masashvatam, but you don't prove it to each other. That I will make you so Dukhalaya, so much Dukhi, that you will cry out and help to Krishna. That Krishna, please save me, right? So it is not that you have taken the theka to prove to your partner that this world is Dukhalaya. You're supposed to be the part which plays a soft role of being a sukh to your partner. And of course, it helps our children to become balanced in secure environment when they see, which I already elaborated on the children aspect, and appreciate Krishna consciousness with a deeper lifestyle. So these are some very sacred goals, and we need to see and take cognizance of this, whether how much our goals are we fulfilling truly, right? How many goals are we really fulfilling through our attempt to be in Grihastha life? So I think it's 5:20 now, and I'm told that we need to take a break now, right, for our Aarti. Yeah. So I think I just wanted to finish the slide, and we put a halt to this, and we'll continue when the next, when our next thing allows, right? So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and we stay here for the next.